Reading comprehension, as the name suggests, uh, by comprehension we mean understanding, understanding of the given passage. Okay. In your previous studies, which you did in your first year and second year classes, you might have seen that there were quite a lot of reading comprehension passages that were given to you, and you were asked to read those passages and then answer certain questions related to those passages. Uh, there could have been stories, essays, articles, and in some cases poems also. Um, and in those reading comprehension passages, or those essays or articles or stories, the teacher was there to help you a lot. But in this case, where we talk about this EK, we have to read passages on our own, understand them, and then respond as per the requirement. And the reading comprehension that we did in earlier classes was not mostly based on MCQs type of questions. Okay, it was more like a question and then an answer that you had to produce, sometimes in a line or sometimes two line, or sometimes you were given word limits as well, like 40 to 50 words sometimes, or 100 to 150 words, or if you are writing an essay, that would be something different. By this reading comprehension that we have, we mean we'll have a passage of about 3 to 300 words or 350 words, and we'll be given a certain amount of time. So it is more like 10 to 15 minutes of time that we have for reading passage. Okay, in that you'll have to read, understand, answer, and get your answers correct. A very general note about reading is that some students feel that do we have to read the whole passage? Well, you have to read the whole passage. There is no way out. Okay, you can't read a line or two or part of the passage, and you can't expect then to get to the right answers. Reading whole passage is important, and then understanding it, and then answering the questions. For instance, for the reading comprehension passage, we have like 10 minutes, for instance. Okay, uh, if we are given like 10 minutes, the examiner is giving us a passage of probably 300 to 500 words. Okay, and what do we need to do is we need to read that passage first very quickly, probably in a minute or two, very quickly, like reading maybe the first or the last sentence of each paragraph, if there are paragraph. If it is just one piece, okay, then read the first sentence, read the last sentence. That will give you just a gist of what the topic is about. Somehow you need to first of all understand that what the topic is. Okay, is it some journal topic, or is it about some historical event or some scientific invention or some social problem, or any other text related to any of the fields? And what is it talking about? What is the main idea of the passage? So you'll have to get the main idea by just reading first sentence and last sentence of each paragraph very quickly. Then, for instance, if you spend like a minute in kind of surveying the text, you'll be able to then go into the deeper understanding of the passage. We'll be left with like 9 minutes. Generally, there are 5 to 7 questions that are given about the reading passage. So, if like there are 7 questions, I suggest that we spend 1 minute for each question. Okay, and that 1 minute will be used very wisely, because you won't, the clock will be ticking, and you won't have to spend more time onto one particular part. Because if you, for example, spend, let's say, 15 minutes on reading, then you might have to skip 1 or 2 parts of that test as well. So keeping with the time limit is an important thing. You can do two things. um, you can straight away read the whole passage and then come to the question, or like I said, get a gist of the passage and then read the question, go to the passage, and then try to find the answer to the passage. One a very common mistake that the students make is that they try to find out 100% the same wording of the question into the passage. Okay, it is not possible that whatever the words are used in a question, the same words will be used in the passage. Probably a word or two or three could be there in the passage, but if the examiner wants to check your check your overall understanding of the passage, or if the examiner wants you to wants to find out the implied meaning, okay, of the passage, then probably the word to word understanding of the question and the passage probably may not help a lot. But there will be 1 or 2 questions that will be a very direct question. You read the question and probably you will find 1 or 2 words in the passage, and then you'll come to answering the question. So spending a minute, for example, in surveying, and then spending like 9 minutes out of 9, like 7 minutes, for example, 1 minute for each question, and then reviewing your answer very quickly in a minute or two to make sure that whatever you have chosen is correct. First of all, uh, to break up this idea, you'll have to, like I said, summarize the main idea. One very important technique that high scorer use, it needs a bit practice, but it is highly recommended, is that if there are 3 or 4 passages, for instance, okay, what you do is you read a passage and then try to summarize that passage into one sentence. Okay, it could be uh, in written form or in your mind. But when you are practicing at home, I would suggest, I would highly suggest that you try to write that down, summary of the whole paragraph in one sentence. Okay, so if you have 4 paragraphs, for example, or 5 paragraphs, if you do the same, read the paragraph and try to summarize the paragraph into one sentence. At the end of it, you will have 4 or 5 sentences, and those 4 or 5 sentences will give you the main ideas of the passage. Okay. Uh, Another important thing that will help you is that each paragraph, when we talk about a paragraph, we know that each paragraph contains a certain structure. Okay, and that structure is that there is a topic sentence. In 90% cases, the first sentence is the topic sentence of each paragraph. Okay, so that topic sentence can tell you what the whole paragraph is about. If you can get to the topic sentence, believe me, you will get to the main point of the paragraph. So we need to find out the topic sentence, then there will be some explanation of the same topic sentence. Okay, then could be some details or examples, and then a concluding remark. A concluding remark. Okay, this is generally a formation of a paragraph. Okay, a topic sentence, then explanation of that topic sentence, then details or examples of a topic sentence, and then the concluding remark. For instance, if you're writing about democracy, for example, you come across a paragraph that is discussing about democracy. So the topic sentence could be that democracy is one of the major systems of government in the world. It's a general idea, it's a topic sentence. Then the writer might go into the detail by explaining that it is a system uh, that is defined by the term democracy, which is made up of two words, demo and cracy. By demo, we mean people, and crazy mean the government. So it is the government of people, for the people, by the people, as it is said. For instance, okay, then when the writer says, for instance, for example, he is coming to elaborate it through some examples, through some detail. And then he'll go by saying in a nutshell, or finally, or eventually, or lastly, or to sum up, some kind of conjunction he'll be using. So you need to see that how the topic sentence is uh, uh, there, and what kind of information it is giving, and what kind of explanation is there, then details, and then the concluding remark. This is also a very good idea to compose a paragraph as well. So look at the paragraph, try to figure out the topic sentence, go into the details, and once you have done, once you have read the paragraph, write a summary of it in a sentence. Okay, in the beginning it might take some practice, might take some time. Okay, like when I was a student, I had to practice for weeks to master this single skill. I would read a passage, and then I would try to summarize into one sentence on a piece of paper. And at the end of the passage, there will be like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 sentences as per the paragraph. But this is going to help you a lot. It might take some time in the beginning, but like with the passage of time, once you get used to it, it will be easy. And in the actual test, you may not have to write that down. Probably your memory will do that. Okay, you will remember that main idea. So summarize the main idea of each paragraph first. Okay, and then try to